how to build a team. Because the bigger your team, bigger the customers, bigger your residual income. That's what the objective is, to build a large growing team of independent business owners who acquires customers. Okay, and you want to rank up to the positions of executive team trainer and executive team leader as soon as possible. So as soon as you start with the NeXarise, you can taste the residual income. Now, what's the mindset? How do we build a team? We talk to people. It's as simple as that. It's a simple business. That's the best part about it. And if you talk to a lot of people, you'll make a lot of money. If you talk to some people, you'll make some money. And if you talk to no people, you will make no money. So if you've heard the recognitions and the testimonials of the individuals, what is it that makes them different from where you are right now is they just spoke to more people. That's simple. That's as simple as it gets. So that's what you want to understand. Also remember, there are two categories of people that we talk to. The first one is the warm market. These are people who you already know. They're already on your phone list. They're ready to be spoken to. They're the most effective because you already have a relationship with them. And then the cold market, that's everybody else. Those are people that you don't know yet. Those are individuals you are going to be making friendships with, and those are the people you build a team with. Now remember, team building is very simple. As soon as you get started, what's the first step? Set a date for your own Zoom meeting. This is when you are going to get your contacts in front of the NeXarise opportunity. Make a list, okay? Make a list of everybody that you know about the age of 18 and can breathe, and invite. Now remember, when you're making a list, warm market, the people who you know, who are they? Immediate family, closest friends, most successful person that you know. Why we're asking for the most successful people? Because they already know what it takes to be successful. Who's the most credible person you know, the most influential, the person with the largest network, the person with the best personality, who's positive. So make a list, of the people that you know, and don't prejudge, because the people who you think might build NeXarise might not. And the people you think might not build NeXarise, they might. So you don't prejudge. You do not know what is happening in people's lives nowadays, okay? Most people will have a mask in front of their face, so you don't know what really happens in their life. So you don't prejudge. You have an opportunity, and you've got to share it with them. That's all. That's your mindset. I found something great at NeXarise. It's an amazing opportunity, and I want to share it with my friends and my family. It's as simple as that. See, if I saw something great, I would love to share it with my friends and family. Now, you want to contact everyone as soon as possible. Now, why do I say that? Because just within weeks of NeXarise being launched, we have thousands of independent business owners, and they're contacting everybody. So the worst thing will be is if you saw your friend or your cousin or your relative going and being a part in someone else's team simply because they contacted them with NeXarise the first time. So you don't want to miss out. And we got to understand the concept of sorting. I'm going to come to that. What does sorting mean? Now, how do you invite your friends, your contacts to look at a presentation? It's very simple. You make a phone call with high energy and excitement. Say, hey, buddy, how's everything going? You got to check up on them. You can't go straight to the chase. Don't cut to the chase. Check up on them. How are you doing financially and health-wise? Everything okay? And then you invite them. Now, this is a simple script. You can use your words, but you get the idea. You say, let's say you're inviting your friend called Jane. Let's say, hey, Jane, if I send you a link to a webinar today evening at 7 p.m., showing how you can start an online business from home, make more money, and potentially change your life financially, would you take a look at it? Simple. You don't want to explain. You don't want to go into detail. You just want to get them to see the information. Now, naturally, Jane might ask questions. Your role is not to answer the question. You just got to say, hey, I was just introduced to myself, so I'd rather not try and explain it. You really need to see the visual information. Trust me, see you on the call. Now, when you say visual information, your prospects understand it's something for me to see. So you can get off the phone as soon as possible and get them in front of the information. Okay. Now, at the end of the presentation, now is when your role comes back in. You're an expert to present the business for you. Okay. Now you want to ask them the enrolling questions at the end of the presentation. So Jane, what did you like the most about NeXarise? Okay. So Jane will say, I like the concept of having residual income, meaning you get paid every single month once it hits a position, like a salary. That's amazing. So you'll say, hey, great. So do you see an opportunity for yourself? Jane says, yes. You can say, so based on what you said, let's get you started. Okay. Simple. Great. Now, let's say someone said, So based on what you said, let's get you started, okay? Sometimes you get objections. And I've been in doing this for a long time. Most of the time, you get 5 common objections. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I need to think about it. I need to speak to my spouse. Is it legal? Now, when your prospect give you objections, don't get emotional. Don't get offended. It's normal, okay? And you don't want to counter attack them and say, what are you talking about? So you want to have the right approach. Remember, it's about the right approach. So your response should, the way you overcome objections, the best way that we have found by using the words feel, felt, and found. So if someone said, hey, I don't have the money. So I would, why do I say feel, felt, and found? Because you become equal to them. You know, you relate with them. So if someone say, hey, I don't have the money, I would say, hey, I know how you feel, because that's how I felt. But here's what I found out. When I first said I didn't have the money, my mentor said, well, that's why you need NeXarise. And I said, what do you mean that's why you need NeXarise? You need NeXarise so you would never have to say that you don't have the money. So when you say it that way, you get to overcome the objection. If someone say, hey, I don't have the time. So you got to say, hey, I know how you feel, Jane, because that's how I felt. But here's what I found out. I realized that the reason I didn't have time was because of the decisions or the lack of decisions that I've made so far in my life. And if I needed to have time, I needed residual income. That's why NeXarise is the best thing for you. If someone say, I need to think about it, I say, hey, I know how you feel, because that's how I felt. But here's what I found out. I found out the equation of thinking. Same old thinking gives you same old results. So I wanted to change the results. That's the reason why I got started and I had enough time to think about it. If someone says, I need to speak to my spouse, I know how you feel, because maybe I don't have a spouse, but I can say somebody else's story. I know how you feel, because that is what Adam felt. But here's what he found out. Even if you had the best memory, you will not be able to go back and share this information, even 20% of this information and the excitement of how you feel with your spouse. So let's get on the phone and let's speak to her. And if someone say, hey, is it legal? Say, I know how you feel, because that's how I felt. But here's what I found out, that companies who are financially regulated are partnered with NeXarise. You know, companies like O2 and Vodafone are some of the products that NeXarise sells. I'm sure that these companies, before they partner with NeXarise, have done their due diligence. So you got nothing to worry. So learn to overcome the common objections and go back to the third enrolling question. So let's get you started, okay? Now, if after this, what you got to understand is we are not in a selling business. We're not in a convincing business. We are not in a brainwashing business. We are not in a manipulating business. We are in a business called sorting. We are sorting all the time. What does sorting stand for? SORTING, seeking open-minded, reliable, trustworthy individuals needing growth. So what you want to do is at the end of every presentation, you will find 3 categories of people. You have the apples, the oranges, and the coconuts. Now, who are the apples? Okay, the apple is juicy fruit, is ready to eat. So you got to understand, sorting is about fam bam, from a meeting, book a meeting. So with somebody who at the end of the presentation say, hey, I get this, I'm ready. So you sign them up and then you get them to a launch meeting where we show them the next steps. Now, what if they're oranges? Oranges are individuals. Most of the time you'll meet these individuals. They want to think about it a lot. All right. So what do you want to do? They will give you some objections. So you will, how do you eat an orange? How do you eat the fruit? You got to peel off the skin first. So you got to peel off the skin by answering their questions, try and overcoming the objection and try to get the fruit so that once you get the fruit, you can convert them into a juicy fruit and then you sign them up. But if they don't sign them up, they want to still think about it. They still want to do their research and all of that. Then all you got to do is fam bam, from a meeting, book a meeting, get them to the training meeting, the next event. When they see one event after the event after the event, the number of exposures, they will see that this is real. Then you got the coconuts. Now you know that there is potential inside that individual. There's fruit there. It's very tasty, but they're very hard outside. All right. They're the kind of individuals who say, no, I don't want to sign up. I don't want to be an IBO. Don't get emotional. Again, fam bam, from a meeting, book a meeting. Try and get a customer meeting booked so that at least you can acquire them as a customer. And then through follow-up and through follow-through, eventually they'll see your success story and they'll come and become a business partner of yours. So this is what sorting is all about.